Good afternoon, I'm Mayor Buddy Dyer, and I'd like to welcome you to the City of Orlando's first webcast. I'm honored today to be joined by Phillip Mangano, who's the Executive Director of the United States Interagency Council for Homelessness, which is a big title, but it's kind of better known as President Barack Obama's homeless czar.
Well, it's kind of you, and I'm really glad to be here with you, glad to be here in Orlando, and I'm so appreciative of the great work you're doing on this issue of homelessness.
Well, thank you for joining us. Why don't you tell us what a homeless czar does for President Obama?
Well, the most important thing we do is we convene 20 federal agencies regularly at the White House to make their resources more available and accessible instead of having them all separated. The idea is to get as much coordination at the federal level because that will help in local cities and in states. So we do that, but probably much more importantly, we've been partnering with governors and mayors and county executives all over the country. And the way we make that partnership tangible with mayors is working with them to create 10-year plans to end chronic homelessness. And I'm so grateful that you're one of the mayors around our country who has moved forward and created that 10-year plan here in Orlando. And I'm most especially grateful for the good results that you are seeing here.
Well, we've created a regional task force that's actually made up of Seminole County, Orange County, Osceola County, and the City of Orlando, and our business partners. And you joined us today for the State of the City to celebrate and have some good announcements about resources coming to our area. Could you explain to our audience?
Sure. Well, it's not very often, and I'd say just not many years ago, we would have never thought in any city in our country that the headlines would be resources up, homelessness down. But through your leadership and the leadership of other mayors here in this county and all of the people that you've assembled, the CEOs of the major corporations, that is the story in Orlando. Your numbers from 2006 to 2007 were down generally on homelessness, and they were especially good numbers on the number of people on your streets. That was down considerably. And I was very happy today to be with you for the announcement that more resources than ever before have come to Orlando to defeat homelessness. In fact, the increase that you mentioned today was a 26% increase just over last year and about a 300% increase over the year before. So more resources, a better strategy, and fewer homeless people, and that's what the name of the game is on homelessness now around our country.
Well, we completed our 10-year plan, or at least the version that we're going to implement a couple of years ago, and we're working on implementing that. You've had a chance to observe some of the stuff that we're doing. Can you tell us what you see that we're doing right and what additional things we might be able to do?
Well, as you know, Orlando is one of about 850 cities around our country who are partnered with 10-year plans, and about 380 10-year plans. So we've had a chance to look at a lot of plans to find out what works and what doesn't work. The thing that we discovered was that the single most important factor in getting success in reducing homelessness is the political commitment, the political will of the jurisdictional CEOs. And that's to your credit, Mayor Dyer, and to the credit of Mayor Crotty, that both of you have come together and extended your political will on this issue. The second most important factor was the involvement of the business community. And I know, having visited with you previously, that you have at the table, and you can help me on this, you've got the CEO of Walt Disney World, you've got the CEO of the Orlando Magic, and even though I'm a Celtics fan, I'm going to applaud the Orlando Magic here in Orlando today. And then you've got CEOs from several, I think, banks and other great corporations here in Orlando. Well, that combination of the political will of mayors combined with the civic will of corporate leaders and the great homeless providers you have here, well, those are the ingredients of the success that you're seeing now.
One of the things we've learned here in Central Florida is the power of partnerships, and we've had great success with our medical city, with the building of the community venues downtown, our new commuter rail system, Sunrail, and it's because we've been able to work across jurisdictional boundaries and bring the business people in to work with local governments that we've been successful, and that's the model that we're trying to use with homelessness.
Well, what a great model it is, because I know of your successes in other areas. I've been in some other Florida cities recently, recently, and we've been bragging on Orlando and the great efforts that you're making in the community in general and the economic development efforts that you're making. And certainly that's the one thing that is working on homelessness in our country, is the kind of partnerships that have come together in terms of political leaders partnering and then the whole community partnering. As you know, we're sending more resources than ever before. President Obama, through his economic recovery plan, is going to be sending more resources to Orlando than you've ever seen on a wide variety of issues, but also specifically on the issue of homelessness. And the only way to ensure that those resources move beyond simply funding programs to investing in the result of reducing homelessness is when we see that kind of partnership, so that everybody's working, everybody's pulling in the same direction. When people are pulling in opposite directions, you can never move forward. When they're pulling in the same direction, you move forward. And that's certainly what we've seen here in Orlando. It was my great honor to be at your State of the City address today, because I wanted to applaud publicly the effort that you've been making and the results that you've been achieving.
Well, thank you.